Good afternoon from Blackpool. Pro event number 6. Myself, Tony Holgate. I'm with Nick Finn. He stayed on. And we're going to watch a bit of Shaun Chipperfield and Luke Gilbert. And it's Chippy at the table. This is a man that likes to whiz around the table.
Yeah, should be a pretty quick game. I mean, Luke's no slouch. He's a fast player as well. And
he's also a pro event winner this season.
Bit of news for the viewers if they haven't already spotted it. The women. What's going on today? Emma Cunningham beaten Rona McCarthy earlier today. Amy Beauchamp has just beaten Aaron Davis 7-5. And I tell you what, I just saw the finish from her. She left herself under pressure for the winning 8-ball. It was from the side cushion, probably just about where the 8-ball is on this table now, but actually glued to the cushion, slightly hamper cueing with a long 8-ball, the length of the table, and she absolutely nailed it. It was a brilliant finish.
Just go to show how strong the top of the ladies' game is.
Yep.
You know, obviously Amy, multiple world champion and just a fantastic curious. And Emma's, you know, she's a world champion. And she's been knocking on the door for a while as well. Well, I'm pleased for both of them. I mean, I'm not being funny. They're both two tremendous wins against two colossal players. And they'll be playing in the World Championships as well. That's going to be coming up next week from here as well. Luke there getting a ball off the break. A man from Cambridgeshire. Like several of the pros, all pals together. John Rowe and Luke's good friend Dom Cooney. Also Phil Harrison, who's I was thinking Phil was quite young because he's a bit younger than me, and he's like the daddy of the Cambridge pool setup now. There, all these young lads have come along behind him, all look up to him. But Luke Gilbert, fine cueist. No doubt going to be at the top of the game for a very long time.
Yeah, he's a fabulous young player. Really enjoy watching Luke.
Nicely played. And this match looks like it's going to start exactly how I thought it would, Nick.
Yeah, fast and furious, but high quality.
No mistakes, exactly.
Not even 3 minutes have ticked over.
Yeah, it's incredible standard.
Over 3 minutes, under 3 minutes for the first 2 frames.
Super stuff from Luke Gilbert, levels the match, a break and dish apiece. Another good break. Oof, look at them yellows. Incredible is Shaun, because out of all the players, his cueing is faster than anybody's. You know, there's no real cue up. He points to cue and hits. You know, in between actually setting down, you know, setting up the shot and striking the ball, there's very little time at all. It's like a millisecond.
If the 2 yellows that he's closest to aren't plant, you probably make a case for reds here, don't you? Unless, I mean, they go long. Reds are all there as well, aren't they? You could.
I think she's good.
It's probably that separation because you've got the balls at the top and the balls at the bottom, but you've got the red.
Yeah, but he likes the yellows because they're all in the middle of the table. With the reds, you're going up and down a bit. But I get it. There is a case for that colour. Yeah, it's just one cue, one swing of the wand.
He just, it almost feels like he just doesn't give the game any respect whatsoever. I mean, he clearly does, but it's just crazy.
It's his speed he's comfortable with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just brilliant to watch.
Chipperfield 2-1 up.
He's got that air of confidence about him now. He knows he can do it. He knows he can mix it with the best. You know, until you actually win that first really big title. I mean, he's won titles before at junior levels and so on and so forth. But until you really establish yourself as a pro and win and lift that first trophy, there's always a question mark. But as soon as you've done it, you know, no one can take that away from you, and it just gives you a different level of confidence. This guy's going to be in the game for a long, long time.
Yeah, she's looking at yellow. He wants yellows, but he's looking at the red and yellow at the top of the table, thinking about maybe playing the yellow off the yellow that's next to the cushion to try and develop it.
He's decided that the yellow will go off the other yellow. He's decided to take them. That's not a great shot. Didn't play for the contact, and now he is on absolutely nothing.
Yeah, the first little mini error. We call it a big error yet because he's still at the table.
I'm not sure what you do here.
You have a little go at the plant.
Yeah, that's about all there is, and it's. I mean, look at that. They just look like they're in a straight line, but it's way more difficult than that. Oh,
played it well considering he didn't have a lot of time, but the cue ball.
He's on nothing again.
Gone a straight.
Yeah.
And this time he is on nothing. I don't think he can get through it. He's played the other plant now, so Shaun Chipperfield, I'm sure, will be thinking he's going to be chalking up his cue.
Yeah. Cross table. Hope for the best. The reds are in the open, so. Oh,
well,
good.
he's still going.
Come on, Luke, stop it. Just stop it. Had to thread the needle there, Tony. I mean, the line was there, but really had to thread the needle. Still needs to pull out another good shot here.
Well, he's given himself half a chance. He could have done without that cue ball going close to the red.
I mean, that makes it so much more difficult.
It does, because he needs to punch below the middle of the cue ball to get the right contact into the second ball. So if you're playing it with topspin, it's not all, the second ball then just goes forward. So
he can get to the back of the cue ball, but it's horrible.
Well, he's slightly playing it with side now, and he didn't want to.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, he's played it full into the red instead. That's a brilliant shot.
What am I watching here, Tony?
That is an absolutely brilliant shot. That'll be one for the highlight reel, certainly.
Not just the shot though. I mean the whole clearance.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous finish. He's not got it yet, mind. This for 2-2 and an outstanding finish if he gets it. Brilliant from Luke Gilbert. Absolutely brilliant. Frame number 5, Shaun Chipperfield at break off. Nobody's missed a ball yet. Everybody's made a ball off the break, so I wonder if we can beat the Hogan Leary 9 breaks and finishes in a row from yesterday. We're on 4. And Chippy's made a ball off the break. Well, he obviously wants the yellows. It's the one top left, and in fairness, the 2 yellows just to the right of there as well don't pass each other, not into the right hand corner, so there is plenty of work for Chippy to do. I think he'll come down the table and try and use one of the yellows at the bottom to get into all of those. Has an angle here. If he cuts this into the bottom right hand corner, he could nudge into the red and yellow stuck together and send a cue ball into the other 2. Not just 3 out at once and then worry about the other one later. Don't fancy, but he's going to end up very close to the rail here, which he didn't want to do. Now he can't go anywhere.
Well, he may be forced to take the cut in bulk. I mean, he is still going to take this one. But that was
well, we know that. Surely that doesn't go. Well, it doesn't.
Yeah, that was a bit of an ask, wasn't it?
I think he should have took a chance with that cut a couple of shots ago, because the other yellow was over the bag anyway.
Yeah, he had the angle there. I mean, easy to say it from here, but it may just have been a little bit thinner than he liked. What a plant!
Hello.
What a plant that is! How do you find that?
That's one we hadn't looked at.
No. totally off angle. Tough shot to play.
He needs to move this one out now. This is a shot. Well, it's out, but now we're going to see a very, very thin cut into the right-hand centre. That's all he's got.
No good.
It's always going to be a tall order to get that ball.
And he's left Luke the perfect angle just to come across and give the two reds a bit of a tap. Well, he doesn't need to.
No, they both go.
Yeah, well, I mean, I 100% agree. I mean, as I've said many a times on comms, I'm never an advocate for moving balls.
No, I don't think Luke is.
If you don't need to, and I respect the fact he didn't need to. He had a lovely angle to come down and give him a nudge.
No, Luke's quite happy for where they are. He
Backs himself to get him. Why not?
He knows his route. He's already looked at that. A bit of a wipe of its feet there, that red. It's just come a tad too far. They would have wanted to get onto the red next to the black and play that now. I mean, he still can. He will be leaving himself an angle to play the other red. I mean, he's fairly straight on the left-hand red, and maybe he might just screw back, but he's going to leave himself the angle instead. And that's absolutely fine. He judged that well. There's always a little danger that you could nudge that black too heavily and knock it behind the yellow when you have to, then you'd have to do too much with the last red, but there we are. Luke Gilbert gets himself in front for the first time.
We know they're brilliant players. Can they ever be as consistent as a Phil Harrison or a Tom Cousins? Or is the inconsistency created by their style?
It's a good question. For me, a prime example of that would be like Chris Mellin. Now, Chris will attack everything, and he is flamboyant and he pulls some brilliant shots. But if you watch Chris, he's sensible as well with it. So he keeps his in check. It's like keeping down Dr. Jekyll. It's hard, but for a player like maybe Shaun, Wacker, Warren, these very fast attacking potters, I'd say it's harder. I think you need to be a tournament winner. I mean, we can always just use Tom Cousins as the prime example because he attacks, he's got great touch, but that's why he is the best player in the world. But I agree. I think because in the back of your mind is the itch to go game. You know, when I was playing, it was, because I just potted. And I'd look at the table and think, I know I need to play a safety here. I know it's the right shot. But I cannot live with myself if I play the safety badly and I've just messed up the match and it's cost me. And I think, right, I'll just take on a more difficult pot rather than an easy safety. Because listen to me, I'm telling you, some of the safety shots that were really easy for clever players were ridiculously hard for me. Honestly, I try and cover a bag and leave the Mersey tunnel.
Yeah.
But covering bag's not a thing in the game now because of the rule changes, which is good. So these rules would have completely suited me. It's like attack with wild abandon and not bother too much.
Because all the players I mentioned, I mean, they're all brilliant and they're amazing to watch, and they will win tournaments. They're always there and thereabouts in the winner's circle. But one of the parts of their game is they are a little bit inconsistent.
Their control is so good, Nick. They see the table so well. Very rarely, players like Luke here. I mean, this finish is, it was there, yes, but it's just from ball to ball, they're never in trouble. Oh, he's clipped the yellow first. Wow.
Unforgivable. I thought he may have just left that slightly short. I thought that was a little bit tight. He wanted
he nicked it with side. Let's just have a look at this. No, he didn't.
And another roll of the ball, and that was a gimme. He was so tight.
That's a strange one. That
could be something we're talking about.
Oh my word!
I was just
what have we just seen here in the last 2 minutes, Nick?
I was just about to say that could be the talking point later on in the match, and that could be the difference between these two players, because 4-2 there for Luke Gilbert, but that's an unforgivable miss with ball in hand from Shaun. He seemed to stab it.
Of them.
Seemed to stab it a little bit, and he's handed it straight back to Luke Gilbert. Wow.
Well. That one, and Shaun's off to the rest room. And I would imagine it's not just because he needs to go to the toilet. I think he needs to have a look in the mirror a minute and just maybe throw some water on his face and just collect his thoughts for a minute, because he's obviously fuming. Chipperfield breaks off.
Well, there you go. That's punishment right there. That's what you get. The old pool gods coming back to punish you. He will be fuming. Absolutely fuming.
Anybody would be. It's just Luke's made a massive mistake, and he's just handed the frame to you, and then you just missed the first ball.
Yeah. With ball in hand.
With ball in hand, yeah. Yeah, we're not telling lies. and to be fair, and I don't blame him for taking a moment, because if you play the next frame immediately, you when you're that level of anger, you don't really want to show it in the middle of the arena if you can help it. But he's come back. He's hit some venom in his break, but nothing's gone in. And from this game being very, very tight, it's had a big swing in the favour of the younger man from Cambridgeshire.
Well, that one mistake may well cost him 3 frames. I mean, okay, you can't do much about the dry break, but it does seem to be a thing that you get punished for that mistake with a dry break. And then if Luke can realistically, if Luke gets these and can get the next one, feasibly he's going to come back next time he comes to the table 6-2 down, and he had a golden chance to go 3 each. That's proper punishment.
Just working out exactly how he wants to get up to that red at the top of the table. He was thinking about dropping through and then playing up, and now he's left himself the angle to come off there. That's where he wants to go, so he's going to come off the bottom rail into the side rail, so a little bit of left hand side on this. Drag it into that rail and then up through the gap between black and the yellow. Looks very nicely done.
Yeah.
And now the black will be in this centre pocket that's nearest his hand. Oh, he didn't want that nudge. Should be okay, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
Again, he wasn't playing for that because he was wanting to come back in a straight line. It's just made it slightly more difficult.
Yep.
No problem though for Luke Gilbert.
Ooh, couple of balls threatening to go in. He rattled at least 2. What's this? There's the first one. Tries to go in the middle. There's the second one. Doesn't get either, and it's dry. A lifeline for Shaun Chipperfield. Needs to take a minute, reset. Has to get these. The yellow just to the right of the 8 ball on the side cushion. It's fiddly. It's one of those you don't really want to have to drop it into the middle. If you look at it from the main camera angle, doesn't look too bad, but when you see it from the overhead, it's horrible. So I think, well, if he's going to play it in the middle, it'll be now. Well, gets it comfortably enough. Made it look easy, actually.
Nice stroke there from Shaun.
just done across into the red to leave the,
Well, this is
the yellow long.
Yeah, this is the reset he was looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. 4 short. I mean, just quick fire. He's not even going to bother sitting down. He's just going to stand there while the rest racking them. Just intimidate her. Just
No one will intimidate Trish, mate.
Stand there menacingly. Hurry up. Get on with it.
Oh.
That's terrible luck. I mean, it was a dry break, which, I mean, it won't be much of a consolation, but, you know, he wouldn't have been at the table anyway, so. With a very open table, so the chances are he would have probably lost the frame anyway. Everything in the open, Tony, just about keeping the cue ball on a string here, isn't it?
Yep.
As is very often the case, of course, but I mean, sometimes you have the freedom of being able to play to areas. He needs to be quite precise with his cue ball in this. And also in the order that he takes the balls, because the one to bottom left corner, he needs to get that sooner rather than later, because it obviously opens the pocket for the ball above it.
Just glides this one in now, goes through a bit, and he can have that yellow that's just beneath the black into the bottom corner. Whether he'll choose to play that little plant down now.
I mean, if you're not going to play the plant, then
I don't mind that plant.
no, I don't mind it.
I think it's worse if it's the other way around, when if the second yellow's going in a different angle.
Yeah, I'm with you. I definitely don't hate it. It's just deciding which.
He doesn't want the plant. That's
no,
why
he doesn't. He can find the gap.
Well, he can, because what will happen when he cuts this in, the cue ball's going to rub into the black and it'll push it out a bit. Then he can get on that yellow.
Yeah. He does need to get hold of this cue ball to get back out.
What he's also done is push the black a bit further up the table as well, so it needs to be that side of it to get it to the centre.
He's got a wider angle than ideal. I mean, I think initially he would have liked to have screwed up the inside of the, like on the left-hand side of the yellow, but he's probably now forced to come the right-hand side of it. No, he can't grip it from that angle, so he's going to have to leave a wide shot. That is no good, sir. No good. Did not get into that at all. At all.
Well, reprieve.
It was all about the angle, Tony, wasn't it? He wanted to leave that more. If he was near the blue spot, he could have. That was simple enough just to screw that in, side cushion, back out the inside of the yellow. But he had such a big angle that he had to try to top the ball around.
Yeah, he had to go at it there.
Yep.
Calling all pockets.
Yep.
Well, a reprieve for Shaun Chipperfield.
Big moment there. That was a big moment.
Yeah. See in Luke's face there, he's annoyed.
Yeah, pushes that yellow up table and it just opens up everything now for Chippy.
Well, it just gives him a little bit of a cushion as well.
Yeah. Can play with absolute freedom. Just deciding which one he wants to take next. Through the gap.
Yep, no problems yet. You don't feel there's going to be.
It's just
has to take the red near the black.
It's so nice to watch when he just cruises that cue ball. He just sends it around the angles and.
Well, I wouldn't be taking that.
No, or me.
But it's no problem.
No.
Well, gets within one of Luke Gilbert.
Yeah. It is still advantage Luke because he had that 3-frame lead. It wasn't just a 3-frame lead, it was 2 breaks of serve. Oh, cue ball nearly.
I thought it was
close.
in.
Yeah. Very close to getting kicked in. On another day, that one drops. It just gets a little nudge. Doesn't have anything though, does he? He's not. I mean, it's a long red. I mean, if he gets it, no, didn't even go for it. I thought if he takes that long red on and gets it, the table is actually very open. Oh, that's a foul. Didn't hit a cushion.
Well spotted, Nick.
Yeah, that's just a tiny bit clumsy there from Shaun. And
that's why you wear those glasses, because you can see through them. You have to have very good eyesight to be able to do that.
Very clumsy because it's such an open table.
Yeah, that's the thing I was saying earlier about the speedier players and the attacking players. The safety game is the sort of thing I'd have done. Well, that's perfect position now for Luke Gilbert. There's Shaun Chipperfield. You see the overhead of this. There you see, yep. He got the cue ball to glue to the yellow, but he failed to make contact with the cushion after contacting the yellow.
Again, a massive moment because that, you know, the opportunity there. If Shaun could get a go at the table to get it to 5 each. But it is Luke Gilbert who's going to get himself on the hill. 2-frame advantage.
Oh, Goobsy.
Yeah, just struggling a bit.
No, black off the break. No golden break, of course. So, being as the ball went in,
I think
Shaun will stay at the table and the black will just be re-spotted or nearest to the spot.
I think Chippy would be quite happy to see that 8 go in because the yellows were a bit of a pickle, and if the 8 ball stayed over the pocket, reds wouldn't have been an option. Yeah, so the 8 ball spot's occupied, so Trish had to just get that 8 ball in a line towards the cushion, in a direct line back from the spot.
Yep, can't go above the spot, but anywhere beneath it in the nearest possible place towards the cushion. It's fine.
And that's one of the reasons a lot of players often wonder why the balls are set up in the way they are with the reds to the front. It's because that's the way you prioritise it. So if 3 balls went off the table in the break, they would go 8 ball, red ball, yellow ball in that priority order.
Indeed.
Never seen that happen in the tens of thousands of frames that I've watched. I don't think I've ever seen 2 balls go off the table, let alone 3. Bit of a nothing there from Chippy. I'm not quite sure what he was chasing there. He recovers, but it's still in a spot of bother. I mean, especially that red coming down over that pocket now.
Play the yellow off the red into that bottom corner.
Yeah. It's possibly all he's got, to be honest.
Trouble if there's a cue ball going, you're going absolutely nowhere near where you want to go. What about play yellow onto black onto yellow? He's trying to go off the red. He's also attempting the shot I just said as well in the same go.
could be all she wrote for Shaun Chipperfield.
Well, the balls are there now for Luke.
Yeah.
Just a quick reminder, don't go too far away after this match, because coming up next is the magician, Chris Melling, and he's going to be taking on Chris Day.
Battle of the Chris.
Indeed.
Chippy poised, ready to throw the towel.
Well, it's been pretty solid for 95% of the match for Luke Gilbert. Had a little blip in the odd frame, but he's certainly been the better value. It's been a controlled performance. Chippy's had a few bits of bad luck.
Yeah.
Also a couple of rash shots, I think, here and there.
And it's Gilbert who puts Shaun through the chipper.
Wow. No, I'm not having that.
No?
Well, in goes the black ball, and it's Luke Gilbert who will progress here in Blackpool. A good win for the young man from Cambridgeshire, and he'll be most pleased.